The information shared is for educational purposes only. Before taking any action, please seek the advice of a financial or tax professional. Hi there, welcome. My name is Ron Yaish with specialneedslifeplanning.com. So here we are. We are doing kind of like a walkthrough of the Massachusetts Able Account Program. Before we begin, just wanted to make just a couple of points. One was that we're not going to go through all the details of what makes up and all the benefits of an Able account. So if you're interested in that, more of like an overview, Able Account 101, if you will, look below this video to a link for a free webinar that you could sign up for, and we go through the Able account pretty in depth. The second thing is, before taking any action, we really recommend that you get some professional advice. Reach out to a financial professional or a tax professional. Some people may need to consult, an estate planner, just because there are a lot of nuances that go into these types of accounts when it comes to impacting an individual with special needs life and their financial position. Always good to reach out and get some advice. Okay, so here we are. We are on mefa.org. This is the Massachusetts Educational Financing Authority, right? As we know, the Able accounts are managed by each individual state. So this is the Massachusetts, otherwise known as MA. They have a plan called the Attainable Savings Plan. Now, what you have here is attainable. Is it okay? So it tells you all the advantages here on the website. But what's interesting is there are two parts to this, right? There is the Massachusetts informing you about the Able, what it's like, how it works. And then at some point, we're going to get redirected if we want to take any action to the Fidelity run account. Now, we're not promoting any one of the money managers or broker dealers or organizations such as Fidelity, but I'm just letting you know our observation. This is professionally managed by Fidelity Investments, as we see here. And if you want to click to sign up, it's going to bring you to the Attainable Savings Plan, which is run by Fidelity. So how does this work? Let's just do an overview. Again, we are going to be skipping around. We'll make some observations, share some points. If you have any questions specifically about this plan, it's best to reach out to their administrators. We'll try to find a contact info for you. But just know that they're going to answer questions about the plan, about the program, how something works, how to fill something out. They won't, or they shouldn't really, and they won't cross the line, and neither will we, of telling you if this is something that is good for you. Is this a better investment for me, or is this a better investment for me? Is this Able account necessary because of my position or my situation? They can't really answer that. They can tell you what they have. They'll answer, questions about their plans. So that's why I say it's important, if you have those more specific questions, to reach out to a financial professional. Okay, so here we see that the limit in 2018, which is when this is recorded, is $15,000. Okay, so far we've seen a pattern that it's connected to the amount that one is allowed to gift another individual without causing a tax liability. So last year in 2017, it was $14,000. That number this year, it's $15,000. So that was one thing. The other thing was, here we are, we make mention of an account balance of $400,000. That's for this plan itself. However, if you look at the very first paragraph here, it's important to note, and I like it when the plans are very clear, and here they even change the color here to make sure that you notice this, that if you're somebody that benefits from SSI disability benefits, you have to be careful that you don't go over the $100,000 line. The minute you do, the benefits, some of your benefits are going to be compromised and suspended. You don't want that. It's not something anybody wants. So please keep an eye on that. There may be some people that may benefit from having a plan that has a high balance of $400,000. But just to make note about that $400,000 number, it's not that the investments can't grow beyond $400,000. It's once it reaches $400,000, the plan is not going to accept any additional contributions. So, and putting the contributions at $15,000 now, it's not such a simple, investment ordeal to get to $400,000 right away. Anyway, it would take you a number of years. Okay, so let's check out who is eligible. Again, we're just going through this in kind of like a general form here. Okay, how to get started. They're going right into the account and request a seminar. So this is neat. They're letting you know that if you want more information, they can get it to you. Similar to, I'm assuming, I didn't participate in this, although I'm going to probably do that after this recording. Probably similar to our webinar. I'm going to guess. Right? I'm just presuming that that is a possibility. Additional resources. So they're giving you the contact information for ARC, the ARC of Massachusetts, Autism Speaks, the various different local organizations that service the special needs community and individuals with special needs. So that's kind of nice. And please be careful. Consider the attainable savings plan, investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses before investing. Okay, so that's a nice disclaimer. Okay, so now once we click on, we're going to be taken to the Fidelity website. So let's click and go to the next step. Okay, here we are. While I take a water break. Okay, so we're learning about the Attainable Savings Plan managed by Fidelity. This is Fidelity's own website. Okay, we are no longer on the Massachusetts state-run website. Smart way to save, helping preserve disability benefits, a simpler way to plan for the future. So they let you know who's eligible. So let's see who is eligible, not in general terms, more specifically for Massachusetts. All right, so let's go on. Let's see. They tell you how. You need not be a resident of any particular state to open an attainable account. However, if you live outside of the Massachusetts area, the qualified ABLE programs offered by your home state may offer its residents or taxpayers state tax advantages. So right now, this state does not offer tax advantages to their residents. So what they're letting you know is, look, if you live in a state that allows you to get a $5,000 deduction, a state deduction, you may want to consider participating in your own state's plan before this plan, right? Because you may have a general financial advantage to doing so. However, you may have your own reasons for wanting to participate in one plan over another. So they're not telling you can't participate. They're just telling you, FYI, don't miss out on that potential, incentive. Attainable Savings Plan features. So let's check out their features. An attainable account is an easy way to an accessible way to invest and save for qualified disability expenses. Okay, let's go down and then we'll come back up. Learn more about the attainable accounts, explore investment options using your account. Our program sponsor, which is the website that we just came from, the MEFA website. And let's go back up. Okay, so let's go to the questions that individuals have. Let's see what's okay. What are the tax benefits? Okay, are contributions federally tax deductible? No, the contributions are not, but any gains in the account are not taxed, right? And when the money's used outside of the plan, right? If you decide to pay for some expense, that expense would also be, tax free, if you will, as long as it's a qualified expense. Okay, it has to be a qualified disability expense. And if you want more information on that, you can go to our website, and we'll have a link below for special needs lifeplanning.com. I'll say that again, specialneedslifeplanning.com/QDE for qualified disability expense. So you can go to that website, and you can download our free report. Again, it's not an exhaustive report, but it kind of gives you a better sense of what these expenses are should be like, what you can use this account for. But just to give you a general sense that the funds are meant to benefit, and this is the purpose of why these accounts were created by the federal government and managed by the states. The purpose is to help individuals with special needs save money and to grow money via savings. So the funds used need to go to benefit an individual with special needs. Some, whether it's quality of life or what have you. So somebody needs to get special training and they don't have the money for it, and the government benefits aren't paying for that. This is a good use of the funds. Bad use of the funds would be, or something that I'm assuming would be red flagged, would be if all of a sudden somebody, a relative, a coworker, received a $10,000 gift from this account to send the individual on a cruise around the world. That doesn't benefit the individual with special needs, even if it makes them feel good, even if they feel like they're giving. That would not be acceptable. At this point, there isn't an infrastructure of collecting those the list of expenses. So the states are really leaving it to you, the account holder, to keep a log of the date of the expense, who it went to, the amount, and what the purpose was. Okay, we are going to have a link below that will provide kind of like an Excel spreadsheet that you could download, or a PDF spreadsheet. You could see the link below. It's a log for you to hold on to. What we like to do is take those types of forms, upload them to the cloud, let's say something like a Google Doc, and share that with the agency, share it with individuals that are providing care, be it family members. So that way, if there's an expense that people know about, or a pending expense, or what if we consider this? Remember, this account is owned by the individual, him or herself. So this is not something that is owned by the family, or owned by a trust, or owned by the agency. This account is in the name of the individual, him or herself, with special needs. So there is a buy-in that needs to happen as well, but it's a good idea to keep track of these expenses. And at some point, somebody may need to submit, something annually that they, so that is just food for thought. Okay. Is there a state deduction? Massachusetts does not currently offer a state deduction. Okay. That's why they said you may want to consider another plan if you're out of state. So that was something. Disability benefit considerations. Can money in the Attainable Act impact my Social Security benefits? The answer is no, as long as you're careful with the account balance. Can money in my ABLE account impact my Medicaid benefits? They're not impacted by Medicaid. Even if there's a suspension of SSI benefits, of income benefits, the Medicaid program is not going to be impacted by that. Okay, eligibility and account registration. Do I need to provide proof of disability? If the account is for a child or someone who is otherwise unable to manage the account, who is the account owner? In all circumstances, the eligible individual, also known as the designated beneficiary, is the account owner. So whether we're talking about somebody who's 2 years old, or we're talking about somebody who's 55 years old, as long as you're eligible for such an account, they would be the account holder, they would be the account owner, the beneficiary. If there are individuals that are working on this individual's behalf, you would need a power of attorney in order to get permission to make decisions or to help manage the account. Can I have more than one ABLE account? What is the answer for that? The answer is no. When it comes to college savings plans, right, an individual may have 4 grandparents, and each grandparent can open their own 529 college savings plan to benefit, let's say the individual's name is Scott. Okay, so there could be 4 plans that are benefiting Scott's college expenses. Now, Scott's sister, Stephanie, okay, an individual who is eligible for an ABLE account, can only have one account. So the way that would work is the account is in her name only, and those 4 grandparents can contribute to Stephanie, but they're not allowed to have 4 individual ABLE accounts. There would only be one ABLE account, and that is the focus. The individual who is the beneficiary, the individual who benefits from the funds, is the account owner. And that's something that you have to be very careful with, because you don't want to lose the account or be in violation of such a service. No, you don't need to be a resident of this state in order to open this account. And this is something that we wanted to know. Okay. So now if I can change my account. Okay. So in order to open this account, you have to make an initial deposit of $50. And you must maintain at least $30 in the account. We reserve the right to close accounts with balances below this level and disperse any remaining balance to the account owner. Right? I guess they don't want the accounts, staying open with zero balance. Right? Every program, we've seen various different plans as we're going through these walkthroughs that have their own way to manage this minimum balance. What's a qualified disability expense? We mentioned that before. And do I have to prove? No, right at this point you don't have to prove that. Let's see. How could I use Fidelity Cash Management account with my attainable savings account? Consider opening a Fidelity Cash Management account to use with your attainable account. You can transfer money online to your Fidelity Cash Management account and use all of its features to manage your qualified disability expenses. I see. You can transfer money online to your Fidelity Cash Management account. For more information about the Fidelity, once you transfer money from your attainable account to a cash managed account, as with a personal bank account, it's no longer part of the attainable plan. What feature does this have? Let's see. Transferring funds. Okay. So the attainable account is not a checking account. It's not an account that you are able to manage the funds from, right? You're allowed to put funds in. You're allowed to save those funds. And then if you need it, you need to move it into either to directly pay for a service, whether that's an agency or a vendor, or here they're saying you may need to make checks out to individuals. So you could transfer that into the Fidelity Cash Management account. But the minute you do, the funds don't fall under the auspices of the attainable 529A ABLE account. And what we recommend is that you don't do this unless you're ready to use the money, right? So if I know I need to make a certain amount of expenses, I then just transfer funds over into this cash managed account, and then I could, make my payment. I could write a check here, check writing with no additional fees, and you could pay different vendors, etc. So this is a good opportunity, but you just want to be careful because, right, let's say you moved funds into this account and you just wanted to make sure the money was there for the next of the month, and you didn't time this properly. you may overlap into having too many assets in your account for SSI benefits and create a whole other mess. So we recommend that you really don't, or it's recommended, not we, it's recommended that you don't transfer the funds in until you are prepared to use them. And you should, use them right away. If the account owner is not permanently disabled, a federal law requires that they submit an annual recertification to the attainable plan stating that he or she continues to meet the eligible criteria required to own an attainable account. You will be notified separately about how to rectify this, how to recertify this online. Okay. I don't think I've seen this before, but that is good to know that you may have a severe disability. It may have started before the age of 26, but it may be a disability that's going to be around for 5 years. So at some point, that status of severe disability may go away. So while you're in those 5 years, you would be eligible for an ABLE account. And what we're seeing here is that this state is requiring a recertification so that at some point, whether it's year 5 or 6 or 7, when the individual is no longer in that status of having a severe disability, this ABLE account would not be something that they could take advantage of. How do I transfer my ABLE account from another plan to attainable account? We'll leave that for you to figure out with them. Can I transfer attainable accounts to another person? Yes, you may transfer all or part of the money from your attainable account to another person's ABLE account with no tax consequences, provided that the person is eligible for an ABLE account and is a sibling to the original account owner. This includes brothers, sisters, stepbrothers, stepsisters, half-brothers, and half-sisters. So similar to the 529 college savings plan, where you could transfer money around between siblings and family members, close family members, so too here, if there was an individual that had an ABLE account, you could transfer some of those funds without getting a tax liability, as long as it meets the criteria of somebody who is related in such a fashion. Okay, what happens when the account owner turns 18? So when the individual turns 18, right, if they are still in charge of their own funds, then they would be in charge of this account as well. That comes down to a whole separate ball game of managing your assets and how that works. What happens if the account owner passed away? If the account owner passes away, the remaining assets in the account are passed on to the owner's estate. Now, just so you know, this is something that we discussed in the webinar, that the state itself has the right to claim funds on expenses on the balance here based on the expenses that they've paid out. So that is something that you need to know. I'll use the word clawback, but there is such a setup that the state is allowed to. It's not, there's no one trying to hoodwink you here. It's they're very transparent about it. Okay, opening an account, explore investment options, and the attainable account. Let's go to the explore investment options. Okay, find the right balance, different levels of risk, multiple options. Wow, this is cool. So they've named various different portfolios. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 portfolios available to you at Fidelity. And one is a money market portfolio. Okay. There's 100% in short term. Let's click this for a second. I'm curious about something. Everybody has their own level of how comfortable they are with the risk, and that's an important factor to consider. Hold on a second. I just want to look at this account for a moment. I'm seeing this for the first time as you're seeing this with me, so we're really going through this together. This is not scripted. This is really the way that we're doing this. Okay. Am I messing up here? Okay, we'll just go back. So there are stocks, bonds, and short-term investments that I believe are what one would call still fixed income, which would be a money market portfolio. And here you have a whole range, right? Depending on what you're comfortable with, that is important for you to realize. Account maintenance fees. Let's see. The account maintenance fee is $30, and Fidelity splits it up into two. They charge you $15 month one, and then month six, second half of the year, they charge you another $15. Investment portfolio fees. The investment fees vary on your investment portfolio. Fees range from 57 basis points to 94 basis points. So the way the basis points works is if you get charged 1% of your money, right? If somebody, an advisor or a money manager charges you 1%, in the business world, we call that 100 basis points. Just easier to keep saying 100, the word basis points, as opposed to, well, you know, this is 0.57 to 0.94, and you don't really know what that means. 0.94 of what? Okay, the portfolios range from 57 basis points to 94 basis points. So let's view all fees and expenses, okay? So the money market fee, state sponsor fee, so this is what the state's charging, program management fee. So the annual fee is, so this is all included. And the most expensive one is the Able Aggressive, which is 85%, aggressive growth 85% portfolio that has 94 basis points. Okay, what else are we looking at here? Learn about the terminal account. Okay, so we just took we took the time to look at the investments. What are the investments like? Let's take a step back and check out the attainable account itself. Okay, who's eligible? We were there before. Program sponsor. Let's go to, let's check this out here. Oh, sorry about that. This is the using an Able account. Okay. Okay. Only you, the designated beneficiary, the eligible individual, or the person with the signature authority, PSA, can make withdrawals from your attainable account. You can withdraw money from your attainable account a few ways. Most simply by transferring funds from your attainable account electronically to another Fidelity account or to an outside bank account. We have an easy-to-use transfer tool that can help. You can call, and they can help you with that by opening cash money. Your attainable account has been, okay. Once your attainable account has been funded, use your Fidelity cash management account feature like a debit card, free ATMs, and free check writing to manage your disability-related expenses. That is cool. Okay, when you open your attainable account, you identify the portfolios. Okay, so we have seen in the past that there are, which they don't make mention here, how often you can transfer money out from the account into either to request a check or to send money out. They don't make it seem like there is a limit. So we have seen some limits on other plans. This state does not have any limits, and it seems like unless there's a specific reason or a specific bank that you're already accustomed to and you have things arranged with all the other expenses, it seems that opening this Fidelity cash management account may be a good option, right? You can get that debit card, the free ATMs, which is huge, and free check writing. Regarding free ATMs, you just have to be careful, right? This is more of a general FYI that if you have an individual with special needs, unfortunately, there are times when they may be prone to being taken advantage of. So you may have people that are around them, right? And they're learning different skills and working on, everybody, is on a different level. Um, and, if they're not quite ready to manage their funds or their money, um, I've heard of some stories of people being taken advantage of. So you just have to be careful. Um, Again, you want to definitely keep the limit low anyway of money in this account because you don't want to compromise the SSI benefits. But this could also be a tool to teach money management skills to somebody who is trying to, work on themselves in this area. So, walking into a store and using this debit card or taking out money and, paying for things that, an allowance or whatever it is, um, may be a very good idea. Okay, I think that is basically it. If you have any other general questions, you could reach out to us. We'd love to hear some feedback. We'd love for you to like this video, to share this video, to subscribe, share it with individuals, other families, other agencies that may benefit. Our goal is to be here for you. Our goal is to be kind of like a partner in your circle of support, to find things out, to learn, to explore, and to share with you. We're not experts in everything, but our goal is to get out there as regular Joes and figure things out on your behalf. And we're always looking to learn. So if there are things, ideas that you have for us, you want us to explore something, you want us to check something out, you have a personal question about this stuff, please reach out. Info at specialneedslifeplanning.com. Again, info at specialneedslifeplanning.com. That email is going to be below this video as well. You'll see a link to that. And it was a pleasure spending some time with you today. And again, please don't take any action without reaching out and seeking some advice. And once again, this is Rania Ish. Have an awesome day.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It means a lot that you've spent the time with us. Just wanted to ask you if you could to please subscribe to our channel. It does help us. It means a lot to us. And if you are watching this on the blog, you wouldn't be able to subscribe, but you would be able to put in your email address and join the ABLE Report community. That means when we come out with information, when we come out with our ABLE reports, you would receive it. So please enter your email address if this is on the blog, or click subscribe on right below this video. Thanks so much. Until next time.